Late at night, the Udyog Vihar industrial area in Gurgaon empties out completely. The streets are pitch black and silent, but inside the glass towers, entire corporate ecosystems are wide awake, operating in an isolated bubble of artificial daylight. The Saffron BPO functioned on a grueling, monotonous rhythm. Under harsh fluorescent lights, dozens of exhausted customer service agents sat packed in dense rows of cubicles, tethered to their headsets and computer screens until sunrise. 3 people anchored this specific team: the narrator, his social co-worker Samar, and an agent in the adjacent cubicle named Rose. Rose was the team's star performer. She arrived precisely on time, placed her bag on her chair, logged in, and executed her duties with an intense, quiet efficiency. This chart visualizes the strict metric that governed Saffron BPO. Every standard customer service call was expected to hit a hard barrier at the 15-minute mark. You resolve the issue, you hang up, and you move to the next caller. But at 12:30 a.m. one night, Rose received a call and remained locked into a low, whispering conversation. Her line stayed active past 1 hour, then 2 hours, and then 3 hours, stretching deep into the red and dwarfing every other call on the floor. Assuming a system error, their team leader tapped into her audio feed to monitor the situation. He heard absolute dead silence on the other end. When he interrupted to ask what was happening, Rose removed her headset, shot the team a hostile glare, and walked out of the building. She never returned. Her empty desk remained, a permanent glitch in the office's rigid logic that no one could explain. 3 days went by. Rose's desk sat empty, her logging screen remained blank, and her phone went straight to voicemail. Prompted by her total disappearance, the team leader pulled Saffron BPO's physical employment records. He needed to track down the emergency contact and residential address she had provided on her original joining form to send someone for a welfare check. When investigators arrived at the address, they found her parents. They confirmed that the woman matching Rose's name and description was their daughter, and that she had died 8 years ago. For the narrator and Samar, the corporate bubble had burst. They realized they had spent months sitting inches away from a woman who did not exist, watching her type and hearing her breathe as she worked the rows of ringing phones. The revelation meant the office was no longer a secure environment. The daily routine of the BPO had been quietly hosting someone who belonged in a grave. With her human disguise discarded, the entity at the BPO began to claim the floor. A carified agent in the washroom looked into the mirror to see Rose standing behind her, with blood-red eyes and tangled hair. When the agent spun around, the room was physically empty. In the dark pantry, motion sensors began clicking on for no reason. CCTV footage showed the shadow cast by a water cooler subtly warping, taking on the distinct silhouette of a young woman. Then the office servers were breached. With no one sitting at the desk, Rose's abandoned computer terminal flashed to life, automatically logging into the system with her employee ID. The haunting had moved past quiet desk sitting. It was now claiming the pantry, the washrooms, and the very servers that powered the building. The escalation reached its peak at 3 a.m., during the dead hour of the final shift. The narrator was on leave, and Samar was sitting on the floor entirely alone. His desk phone rang. He picked it up and heard Rose speak her standard greeting. Instantly, the overhead lights flickered and died, plunging the entire floor into darkness. Samar fled the black aisles, passing Rose's cubicle, where her chair was spinning violently on its own. He scrambled into the elevator and hammered the button for the ground floor. The elevator descended, but the doors didn't open to a lobby. Samar found himself looking out at a sprawling, misty expanse of open graves and ancient tombstones stretching into the dark. A crowd of decaying figures, including Rose, began to advance toward him. Samar collapsed in the corner and clamped his eyes shut, praying until the morning shift arrived and the illusion broke. The corporate facade of Saffron BPO had been stripped away, forcing Samar to witness the reality of what lay beneath the concrete. The Saffron BPO was constructed directly on top of a demolished graveyard, its concrete pillars plunging through layers of buried history. Samar and the narrator quit the next day. The call center was shut down for good. Samar moved to a new company, hoping to leave the trauma behind. Months later, at 3:45 a.m., Samar's new phone rang. The caller ID showed the landline of the abandoned Saffron BPO office.